All right, so what's really going on here with this Elon and Trump situation? If you haven't heard, in even the last 24 hours, there has been a major back and forth and a lot of just friction in some sense from the optics perspective. But as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to give some explanation into this. First, let's talk about what happened. So if you remember last week, Elon Musk had left the federal government officially in some sense, but Doge would keep going in its mission to find efficiency. And after he left, Trump and Elon were still, at least outside or from on paper and online, were talking about different things that were good, right? Sensible move. He's tweeting about all these cuts and all that. But then when the big, according to Trump, the big, beautiful spending bill had passed, just seemingly overnight, he changed tune and he started talking about the national debt. This is Elon Musk here. And even Trump had said at a news conference, I'm very disappointed with Elon. I've helped him a lot. He knew the inner workings of the bill better than anybody sitting here. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden, he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out we're going to cut the EV mandate. But of course, Elon was, for years, he's been retweeting this, I think since 2021, was okay and for removing these subsidies and these cuts. And so he even clapped back, and he's talking about this whole spending bill being, very inefficient and various things like that. And he even went on to say that this was a big, ugly bill, keep the EV solar incentives cuts in the bill, also cut all the crazy spending increases. And so he's flared up about all of this. And he's calling for the bill to be killed at the Senate and just all these other things. And that Congress is spending America into bankruptcy. And Trump here also even responding. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy. And then he said the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. And then, in between this, there's a lot of back and forth. But then Trump saying, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the biggest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. So Elon then going as far as agreeing with a hypothetical situation of Elon versus Trump, who wins, my money's on Elon, according to Ian this guy, and that Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. And Elon said yes. And then even crazier is Epstein and this Trump thing is being brought back to light. The establishment, or rather it was established that there is some kind of relationship, but that he flew on the plane, but was never clear that he went to the island. And Elon bringing attention to this once again with all of the crazy stuff behind the Epstein files. And then, of course, talking about this poll that he pinned. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? So this has been the back and forth that's happened. And you've got to remember something. Every time there is some kind of media, association saying that, oh, this person is benefiting with this person and they're in bed together and all this stuff, then Trump and his counterpart has to go out and they have to do some kind of optics play, right? This is a PsyOp that we are in. So you can't be caught up, similar with, what comes to mind is Putin and Trump, right? Bill Barr and Trump, Mike Pence and Trump, if you want to argue about what happened in 2020 with that. Jeff Sessions. There's many other people for which there had to be some kind of optics distance to segregate themselves from the public perspective in order for them to achieve something at a bigger level, but behind closed doors. So this is part of that operation. So you've got to get through your head that they're not really fighting. Yes, they're fighting on paper outside, but they're doing something so that they would distance themselves so that they're not caught up, whether legally or with the operation, the black hat, white hat operation that's going on behind the scenes, so that they're not caught up in being associated with each other to each other's benefit, especially, with the millions or billions of dollars and the money that's behind it and all of this stuff, because there could be allegations, lawsuits, and all this stuff But at the same time, there's a diversion happening. So when they say something, media is gonna, catch up on it. They're gonna like dig into it, only for that to awaken more people into looking at something, whether it's the budget, whether it's Epstein, whether it's, some other thing that has been hidden for a very long time. Trump has done this over and over, right? Calling attention to Biden and his, files that were taken, only for it to be turned on him, right? And just many other things. And so don't be concerned about, oh, we're ruined, it's the end, and all this stuff, all of the partnership, all that good stuff. It's come to an end. It's being done on purpose, because once you have two and two together and they go too far, then it's going to be an attacking point, a weakness in some sense for the media and many others to bring allegations and all that against them. So they're doing this from a public perspective to create distance, and they're even creating an intentional quote unquote fight so that it wouldn't come back legally to bite them. So do not be concerned. Let this go, let it play out, and let's see what attention and what is uncovered. Because whenever there's something like this, it brings attention to something else, and it uncovers something, right, unintentionally, and then it feeds into the exposure and the capture of the black hat operatives. Whatever this is, it's been done over and over and again for the past 8, 9, 10 years. So it's a good time to be alive. Just let this play out. This is my first initial reaction to this based on what I'm seeing from the last day, but more is to come. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.